Hi, everyone. We are live. Angels in the architecture spinning into infinity. But sometimes we wonder, why are we so soft in the middle while the rest of our life is so hard? I think Cecilia knows the answer.
Cecilia, you're breaking my heart. You're shaking my confidence daily. Oh, Cecilia, well, I'm down on my knees. I'm begging you, please, to come home. Come on now. Cecilia, you're breaking my heart. You're shaking my confidence daily. Well, Cecilia, well, I'm down on my knees. I'm begging you, please come home. Come on now. Making love in the afternoon with Cecilia up there in my bedroom. I got up to wash my face. When I come back to bed, someone's taken my place. When I come back to bed, someone's taken my place. Jubilation, she loves me again. Well, I fall on the floor and I'm laughing, laughing about Cecilia.
Thank you so much, ladies and gents, to be with us here live-ish at SpragueLand, episode 22. the music of Paul Simon. That was a song of his that we just played called Cecilia, and he proclaims, "You're breaking my heart, you're shaking my confidence daily." We love Paul Simon. We're big fans of his music. I've been wanting to do this show for some time now, and it just took till now to get it ready. It's a lot to mount one of these shows, a lot of arranging and learning the music and exploring the different versions and stuff like that. He has a wide range of music. Like that one was sort of calypso, but in the beginning it was more like folk music. He then later collaborated with musicians from South Africa and came out with his album called Graceland. After that, he did an album called Rhythm of the Saints, where he did research and development in Brazil, learning the drum rhythms and recording the drum rhythms and then writing songs to it. His lyrics are magic. They're just some of the best, high-quality lyrics, I should say. And more about his backstory later. Digital Brian is in the house all the way out from Palm Springs. And since the last show, Rendezvous in Real Time, he's been spending every waking hour researching, reading books about Paul Simon, so you got to stay put when he gets a hold of that. Tell us where you are from. Introduce yourself into the chat if you have the technology at hand. What you do is you say, "Hi, I'm Peter from Encinitas," and magically your name's going to appear, and everyone will get this semi-sense of community that we love to establish with our live streams. Let me tell you who's...
Peter,
yes?
excuse me, what's the magic word?
From. That's Stephanie. She's keeping track of me. I get to...
Someone has to.
So so the magic word is, "Hi, I'm Peter from." You got to put "from," and that's computer code that's going to make the app work. So remember that. Let me tell you who's in the band. Duncan is on drums out in the drum room. How about a hand for Duncan Moore? Yes. Duncan, lately, dude, it seems like you have been farming because you showed up with peaches one day. What's that about, man?
Well, I'm not the one with the green thumb, but I'm glad you enjoyed the peaches. Now I have to say that I've decided, because I'm from Iowa, that maybe this farming thing is in my blood, and I think the next crop I'm going to bring specifically for you, Peter, are onions.
That's an inside joke, because I have a song that I wrote because I, as a kid, hated onions, and Duncan has played that tune. So brilliant.
I'll bring you a lot of onions.
You know, they used to call me not Peter Sprague, but Peter Sprouts. So you could also give me Sprouts. That would work.
Maybe.
Great to have you in the house, Duncan. Sounding great. My brother Trip, he's playing saxophone, flute, iwi, and he's going to play a fair amount of piano tonight. How about a hand for
Hey,
Trip?
Love you.
Trip has just been to Austin. Trip, you went there to do a gig, because I didn't get to talk and ask how it went. Get closer to the mic if you can.
Yeah, I didn't get a talking mic. Their motto is the music capital of the world.
Yes.
Austin, Texas. Yeah, went there for a gig and had a day to see the city, and I really think it's a great city. It was rather hot, but has a river running through it with all kinds of great bike trails, and had a great time.
Nice. And also you did a family trip too, I understand.
Yeah, in the month of, it was mostly July and part of August. June and July, my family, we bought a van and went on a month-long road trip in the U.S., like New Mexico, Colorado, Nevada.
That's cool.
Actually, I only went for half of it, but it was really fun.
Nice. That's a great time. That's my brother Trip. Yeah, Trip, so when you talk from here on out, I'll just jack the mic a little bit.
Okay.
Play a little horn. That's what you're going to play next, just to make sure I got it back in the right place. That's my sound. Yes. And then Justin Grinnell, he's upstairs on the bass. How about a hand for Justin?
Good evening, everybody.
Mr. Long.
So I hear, Justin, you did the jazz sessions, jazz camp.
Yeah.
Any promising young herds coming up from the lower ranks?
Oh man, there's some amazing players. My wife and I, Melanie Grinnell, my wife, and I, we got to direct a group of very talented high school players. We even had them play Pat Metheny's Timeline.
Ah.
And they tore it up. They sounded great. So the future of jazz is in good hands, I think.
Good, with your help too. That's awesome. That's Justin. And then on vocals in the room right over there, that's Allison Adams Tucker. How about a hand for her?
Hey.
So Allison, she called the other day and got the name of a dude that helped us with our drum room. Did that work out? Allison, you built a vocal booth at your place, right?
He so helped me. Oh my goodness. I was going to try to do that on my own, and wow, once we got finished, I realized that would have taken me 3 years. Yes, I made a mini recording studio, and every wall, door, crevice has been, triple taped and tons of foam. I created a 20-foot foam panel art piece. So I was breathing in glue spray for like 2 weeks, But it's so exciting to go into this quiet place and start creating music. And
that's neat. Yeah. So the idea is like if I need a vocal track and instead of you coming over here, you could just phone it in from there, yeah?
Phone it in from there and work on some original music and send it to you, and then you can add your magic to it. And
that's super cool. That's kind of the future of music in a sense, and it's sometimes trying to alleviate getting on that freeway with airplanes landing on cars. How's that? Did you guys hear about that?
On the 5.
On the 5. They shut it down. All right, well, let's get back to some more music. But first, Stephanie, I'm checking in with Stephanie. She's monitoring the chat. And any news on how it's sounding?
Well, let's see. Peter Rayhill, certified sound specialist, has been sloughing off. Haven't heard anything about that.
Okay.
Peter, but Danny Green says it sounds good, so we'll take that.
We trust his vision.
Yeah.
Hey, Danny.
Nice. Okay, well, we're good on sound. We're going to continue Paul Simon. Now here's one of his older ones. I introduced this as 59th Street Bridge over Troubled Waters. And it's a combination of 2 songs, 59th Street Bridge and then Bridge Over Troubled Waters. So check it out. Paul Simon going jazz on us on this one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Slow down, you move too fast. You gotta make the morning last. Just kicking down the cobblestones, looking for fun and feeling groovy. Hello lamppost, what you knowin'? Come to watch your flowers growing. Ain't you got no time or rhyme for me? Ba-ba-da-ba-ba, feeling groovy. I got no deed to do, no promises to keep. I'm dappled and drowsy and ready to sleep. Let the morning time drop all its petals on me. Life, I love ya, all is groovy. Slow down, you move too fast. You gotta make the morning last. Just kicking down the cobblestones, looking for fun and feeling groovy. I got no deeds to do, no promises to keep. I'm dappled and drowsy and ready to sleep. Let the morning tide drop all its petals on me. Life, I love ya, feeling groovy. Not so perfect, sometimes iffy. But life, I love ya, easing down the line, feeling groovy. When you're down and weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. When you're down and out, when you're on the street, when evening fails and falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your part. Oh, when darkness comes and pain is all around, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down. Sail on, silver girl, sail on by. Your time has come to shine. All her dreams are on the way. See how they shine. Oh,
Allison Adams Tucker on the vocals there.
Beautiful song.
She's
Tripp
singing it up.
on the piano.
And Tripp is on the piano, man. He's
Wow.
playing major 7 chords and stuff. Gosh. Where did you learn to do that, Brother Tripp? Tripp is a trained saxophone and flautist. And man, and he plays guitar just about as good as me, and he's playing the piano.
Peter, you better watch out. He's going to take over your job soon.
He's a good drummer, too.
I know he is. I mean,
he makes me sick, really.
He can't talk, though.
He can't talk.
Feeling the love.
He can't talk. He's silenced because he doesn't have a proper talkback mode.
It's our chance now.
Intentional.
But yeah, that's the only way I can get over on you, is by silencing you through the talkback mic. All right. Well, listen, let's tune in with Digital Brian. He's in the house. He drove all the way out from Palm Springs to be on the show, and
Wow.
he's going to tell us a little bit about who's watching and what's the latest with the tech with the I'm From app there. Brian.
You know, it was pretty nice. When I left, it was 117 degrees today, so to come over here it felt pretty good. Anyway, yeah, a lot of people on the show tonight. Again, thank you for dialing in your address and your location. Really appreciate it. We have several down in Hawaii. Actually, Shar is there, but as well as a couple other people. Yeah.
Who else is in Hawaii?
We've got, there's one in Kilauea, I believe, is the Margolis team. Shar
Nice.
might be able to tell us who this is, but I think they have a representation. And then there was also somebody down in Hawaii. I'm trying to think of where this was. Not Lahui. Anyway, there's 3 people down there. We've got some in the Midwest. We've got,
How about Jerry Cave over in Europe?
he is not there, but we did get somebody dialing in from Brazil. Carlos Campos is from Brazil.
Nice.
And this is kind of interesting. We had one person dialed in their address that they're from Cardiff, but it actually placed them in Cardiff over in Europe instead of Cardiff.
Well,
I
maybe
guess
they
that
are.
could happen. You don't know, right? That's Dean. Do you know that person?
Dean?
Just Dean. Hi, it's Dean and Lori from Cardiff.
Oh.
Okay. So yeah, so we've got a number of different people here. We have Paul Simon is on the list too as well.
Where is he
over there.
calling from?
Well, he's calling from his old empty house now that he just got rid of.
Can you zoom in on that?
Yeah, let's take a look and see what's going on
See
there.
if he's
because
hanging out on the porch
Yeah.
listening to us digitally.
You know, he apparently just recently dumped this property, and if you're interested, Peter, it's 33 acres. He's kind of sitting up here in New Canaan in Connecticut, and he decided to get rid of this one. And he does what most of the old rockers do now. He moved on down to Maui, so now he's down in Maui. But this place is available, and I just want to let you know.
Maybe on tips we'll make enough money for that, for a down payment.
We can only hope. Yeah. Okay. So that's it for right now in terms of representation.
thank
we'll see
you.
if people dial in later. Yeah.
Good. Digital
Yeah.
Brian, you're doing great work, man. All right, so we move on to the next song. It's called Hearts and Bones. It's the name of a record that he did after Graceland. Graceland and Rhythm of the Saints, super popular records. This one, not so much, but man, when it came out, I loved the record. Many great songs. This one's called Heart and Bones. He says, the arc of a love affair, rainbows and high desert air. Beautiful. Check it out. I've got the Strat, too. And we start off with Justin on the big wood bass. You got it, my man.
Christ mountains of New Mexico. On the last leg of a journey they started a long time ago. The arc of a love affair, Two people were married. The act was outrageous. The bride was contagious. She burned like a bride. These events may have some effect on the man with the girl by his side. The arc of a love affair, his hand rolling down her hair. Love like lightning shaking till it moans. Hearts and bones, hearts and bones, hearts and bones, hearts and bones. Whoa, he said, why don't we drive through the night? We'll wake up down in Mexico. Oh, I don't know nothing about no Mexico. Tell me why I won't be love you. I love you for who you are and where you are. He said, 'cause that's not the way the world is, baby. This is how I love you, baby. This is how I love you, baby. I love you.
Duncan's got a little bit of that.
Thank you. Return to their natural course, to resume old acquaintance and to step out occasionally and speculate on who has been damaged the most. Easy time will determine if these consolations will be their reward. The arc of love affair, waiting to be and twirl them into one. Their hearts and bones, oh, they won't feel undone. Oh, hearts and bones, hearts and bones, hearts and bones, hearts and
Yay! Huh. Nice solo on the drums there.
Yeah.
That was Duncan on the drums, stirring it up. That was unplanned, folks. That was not supposed to happen, but it just seemed like the right thing to do at the right time. Let me tell you what we're up to. We're meeting here at SpragueLand Studios doing these live streams, and we play for tips, believe it or not. You guys have been fantastic in the past, and I trust that it always works out, but you've been really generous, and we so appreciate it. And there's many modalities of how you can tip away, and they are, you see, there's, I think, Steve, I'm looking at it, yep, right below me is the ways, and so you can do it through PayPal, Venmo, Zelle, also snail mail works, and you see those two QR codes at the either side. I believe you stick your phone up to those and it automatically just heads right to our account. Basically, it'll take all the money that you have and put it in our account. No, you have to go through a few steps and say, yes, we want to give them some money, so we're going to give them this much. So that's how that works. So thank you so much. And that information will be up at the very end of the show, too, just in case you don't want to get up and deal with it now. All right? We're going to tune in with Stephanie, my wife, Stephanie. She's monitoring the chat. She's right over there, but she's going to not be seen. You're going to see me, I guess. But Stephanie, what's up?
Yes, there are a lot of people that are just really enjoying the show. And Chip, the Iwi solo has been a real hit. So that was really something.
I was a little out of control.
You were.
It was getting bendy, and I said, I'm going to go with the bendy.
So that was on purpose, the bendy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good.
All planned.
Really great. So, I hope everyone out there is staying safe and doing well. And I just wanted to mention a few people here. So we have Bill and Judy Mays in the house.
Bill Mays and Judy
from Pennsylvania. Wonderful piano player. And a lot of local friends and fans tuning in here all around here, Encinitas, San Diego, which is great, as well as what Brian was talking about, out of the country and different parts of the state. And that's one great thing about these live streams, right?
Yeah.
That it's so fun to, other people can tune in from all over the world. So other but musicians that are tuning in is fun. Charlene, Randy, Peggy Watson, and helping babysit our little dog, which we appreciate.
She is? That's where Ruby is?
That's where Ruby is.
Okay.
Randy, Peter Rahill, Danny Green, yay, PJ Bovee, and Rita and Randy Hoffman, and others also.
Neat.
Yes. So tuning back to you, Peter.
Okay. Thank you, Stephanie. And thank you for all the people checking us out. That we're having a great time over here. We're going to do more music. We're going to do Sound of Silence, and this is one of his gorgeous slow tunes, and we're going to do it kind of in an Indian raga style. Not kind of, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was always kind of thinking of different ways to do these songs in sort of fresh new ways. So that's that, and then this is going to blend into Scarborough Fair. It's a traditional English ballad. The song lists a number of impossible tasks given to a former lover who lives in Scarborough, North Yorkshire. And the guitar arpeggio thing, that was one of the first things I heard. I have to put a capo on to get this. But this thing, that is magic. That is a magic thing that when I first heard Simon and Garfunkel, I was blown away by that little progression. So that's what's going to happen later on. But we start with Sound of Silence in India.
Darkness, my old friend, I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, 'neath the halo of a street lamp, I turned my collar to the cold and damp. When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made, and the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was for me. They say the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the sound of silence. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley
Love
Nice
that
job, guys.
song. Nice solo, Tripper. Tripper was playing some of that. Do that Jethro Tull stuff, man.
You have to sing when you do it.
Yeah. There it is. That's worth $1 million.
What do you call that, Trip?
I don't really know.
It's a little airy thing. I love that.
Extended techniques.
Jethro Tull was the name of the band. It was actually Ian Anderson.
Ian Anderson. Can you do that where you stand on one foot too, Trip?
No, you got to be really drunk.
Okay. Well, listen, hey, we got Digital Brian in the house. As I mentioned earlier, he has done research and development out in the desert on Paul Simon. Read his book and put together a presentation. We're going to turn it over now to Digital Brian.
Okay, thank you, Peter. Yeah, Paul, he was a little bit of a desert dweller at various periods of time. He made some regular stops out in Palm Springs as well. But I thought the best way to kind of capture this guy is let's kind of walk through a little bit in terms of his recording history, just studio albums, because if you look at, he's got all these other albums that he did in Central Park and everything else. But we're just going to confine ourselves to studio albums, kind of walk through his whole thing. Initially, they were the duo, right? Simon and Garfunkel. And this was kind of a love-hate relationship, it seems, all the way through their life.
I heard about that.
It kind of was on and off again. So his first album in '64 with Simon and Garfunkel is this album here, The Wednesday Morning, 3 a.m. And I'll just kind of say that the tracks on the right-hand side, if you see them in blue, that means they received radio play. And if they're just in regular color, they didn't receive. So you can see this album didn't really do too much at the time, right, in '64. Then the next album kind of came out in '66, and all of a sudden they had The Sound of Silence. So all of a sudden we had 3 tunes here that I'm sure everybody's familiar with. Sounds of Silence, Homeward Bound, and I Am a Rock came out in that album in '66. And then moving along in '66, they had another one, Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme. And again, a lot of airplay again. You see some of the songs are recycled. Homeward Bound, there's Dingley Conversation, 59th Street Bridge, which you did earlier this morning.
Yep.
And so moving along, '68, we have, again, America, big tune in '68 with a Bookends album. And he had Fakin' It and Mrs. Robinson and 2 other hits, and they decided that, this Mrs. Robinson thing was a really big deal, and they decided, man, we're going to have to cut an album on this thing, just on that one tune. And so they did.
But let me ask you one thing.
Yeah.
I thought, what came first, that movie, The Graduate, or their soundtrack?
They wrote the song for the movie,
okay,
and that received the actual record. Mrs. Robinson, I'm showing here, it received a Grammy for Record of the Year. And at that point in time, though, they decided this is really big. It also got Best Pop Performance Grammy in the same year. And then that's when they decided we need to do a whole album on this. So they enlisted none other than Dave Grusin himself to write a bunch of fill-in tunes that kind of were used during the movie, right?
Yes.
So kind of there's Simon and Garfunkel sprinkled in with David Grusin tunes.
Right.
And that was like one of their biggest albums, actually. So they got Best Score soundtrack for that one on Visual Media that year. Moving along, Bridge Over Troubled Water, they knocked it out of the park on this one. So this one got Album of the Year. Bridge Over Troubled Water got Record of the Year. It also got Song of the Year. It also got Best Arrangement, Instrument, and Vocals. And it also got Best Contemporary Song, all on that same album. Had The Boxer, Cecilia, El Condor Pasa. Moving along, now we get into Simon's solo career. And if you see, actually, Paul was 2-time in art at this point in time because we backed up in time, right? Now we're back in '65. So we recorded this album when he went over to the UK and he met a person called Kathleen Chitty, and that's who's actually in the cover here. And he has kept in touch with her through the years. She's now 75 years old. She started to hang out with Paul, but as soon as the paparazzi started hanging around too much, she said, I can't do this for my whole life. And they broke apart, and that was it. That was the end of it. And the net result was he actually had 3 different tunes that he wrote about her, and one of the main ones is Kathy's Song, which is in this album as well. So moving along, we got to '72, Mother-Child Reunion. This is just the album called Paul Simon. That was it. So this is kind of his transition where he was more folk going now into other different realms. And the song called Duncan.
Duncan.
Yeah.
He must have known Duncan was going to be on the gig.
There you go. And Me and Julio Down by the Schoolyard. Everybody knows that one. And this is one of my favorite albums. In '73, he came out with There Goes Rhyme and Simon. And that had a lot of tunes that got airplay but no Grammys out of that one. Moving along, still crazy after all these years. In '75, now this one again, he got Album of the Year Grammy. He also got Best Male Pop Vocal Performance. And again, 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover, Gone at Last, Still Crazy. Everybody knows those tunes. Moving along, there was One Trick Pony. He was in a movie. No airplay. Did anybody see that movie here?
Duncan, did you see that movie?
Oh yeah, I loved it.
Because
Really?
it had Steve Gadd and Richard T. in it, didn't
Right.
it? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, wow,
it was
okay.
a great movie.
Okay.
Pretty much unknown by everybody.
Yeah. So moving along then, Hearts and Bones in '83. We see, again, no real airplay out of that one. We had Graceland, a lot of airplay,
That
and
one
we
went
pulled in
ballistic.
some awards here on that one. So he had Album of the Year as well as Record of the Year. And so moving along then, we had Rhythm of the Saints, where they recorded in Brazil, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think Milton Nascimento was on that one, as well as others. Again, got some good airplay out of that one with 3 different tunes, Obvious Child, Born at Right Time. Then he went off and he tried to do a Broadway thing, which that one kind of didn't really happen too much. So no airplay, nothing there. He came up with a couple of them in year 2000, 2006, as well as 2011. He did get a couple of different airplays out of that one. Getting Ready for Christmas Day and The Afterlife was a tune that he did. And moving along, he did one called Stranger to Stranger. And recently what he did is he took a bunch of his existing tunes and then had Frizzell, you know him.
Bill Frizzell.
Bill Frizzell. And
Sort
had
of
him
interpret them.
them kind of more in a jazz idiom and then redo the tunes with a different feel to them. And that's what he's been doing. Now, I just hear that he's doing concerts out there on the island of Maui. And
Really?
that's yes, he did a number of them actually right before the pandemic. And I think he's kind of gearing up again. So that's what's going on. So this is kind of interesting, his quote. And what do you make of this, Peter? He says, "The trick, as I know it, is to care like hell and not give a damn at the same time." So I guess that's what makes you a good songwriter.
Well, but also that's a nice way to live your life. Like do really
Yeah.
good work, do the best you can, and then after you put in that huge amount of effort, you sort of flow with it.
You're right. Very good, very good. And then this is a quote that he had that I really kind of enjoyed. He says, he realized a lot of talent is gift, but a lot is luck. He says he's very aware that he's born in the right place in the right time, but he's blessed because he didn't have to ever be a sex symbol. And I said, Peter, you and I, we know how we've had to bury that, we had to carry that burden our whole lives.
That's right.
And we empathize with him.
Yes.
It is. It's tough.
It was
It's
a
tough
hard
going.
life.
Yeah, it is. So anyway, that's it on the Paul time and
Good
Paul
work,
time. Thank you very
Brian.
much.
Thank
All right.
you.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on. Let's have some more music. Hey, Stephen, Stephanie, everything okay there? Yep. Okay. You guys, I hear a small amount of the show being cycled back. Does anyone have a browser on or the volume on? What's that? Steve's doing something. Well, let me tell you about what's one of my favorite songs, one of my favorite albums of Paul Simon is The Rhythm of the Saints, and it has the Brazilian influence. And this is a song called She Moves On, and it's just killer. And what did you find out, Steve?
I just turned the light on.
Okay. All right, everything good? Brian, is your browser off?
Yep.
It's still, okay. I'm not sure how I'm hearing that, but it's not bad. But
You're still hearing something now?
Still? I'm not
Yes.
hearing it.
Maybe Justin has his phone on.
Justin, do you have your phone
My
on?
phone is not on,
Okay.
and I turned my talkback mic off, so I think that's
So if
good.
watch, I go, hey. I hear it about.
Something's talking.
It's gotta be-
Isolate what channel it is.
No.
Is it someone's phone?
It's the broadcast.
It's the broadcast. So no, it's. I only hear it when Digital Brian was doing his thing. So. Okay, She Moves On. We're moving. We're continuing on. Everyone cool? Mm-hmm. Here it comes. 2 bars of click.
runway, a cloud lifts, the plane lifts, and she moves on. But I feel a bit whenever you believe that you'll be lost and love will find you. When the road bends, when the song ends, she moves on. I know the reason I feel so blessed. My heart still splashes inside my chest. But she's like a top, she cannot stop. She moves on. A sympathetic stranger lights a candle in the middle of the night. Her voice cracks, she jumps back. She moves on, and she says, ooh, my storybook lover, you have underestimated my power, as you surely will discover. Then I fall to my knees, I shake a rattle at the sky, and I'm afraid that I'll be taken, abandoned or forsaken in her cold coffee eyes.
Maybe emotions.
She says, maybe those emotions are as near to love as love will ever be. So I agree. Then the moon breaks. She takes a corner, that's all she takes. And she moves on, moves on. She says, ooh, my storybook lover, you have underestimated my power, as you surely will discover. Then I fall to my knees, I grow weak, I grow slack, as if she captured the breath of my voice in a bottle, and I can't catch it back. No, no, no. But I feel good, it's a fine day, the way the sun hits off the runway, a cloud shifts, the plane lifts, and she moves on, 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 on. Ooh.
That is great. That is super cool. Thank you. That's She Moves On by Paul Simon from the Rhythm of the Saints record. Hey, we have a crew here that helps make these shows work, and one of the guests, one of the head crew member is Steve Grant, and he's doing the switching, and a lot of other tech, too. He gets the cameras all in shape. Steve Grant, how about just a hand for him, everybody?
Yeah!
Well, this dude, amongst being one of the kindest, super cool, smart guys, he also sings, and he says he knows a Paul Simon song. So we're going to give you a little bit of taste of him singing Paul Simon's American tune. Well, we're stoked to have you on the show. How did this happen? How did it come about that you're now doing a tune?
Well, when you first told me you were thinking about arranging some Paul Simon songs, I said, yeah, that'd be wonderful. You said, hey, do you know any Paul Simon tunes? I said, well, yeah, actually I know one called American Tune. It's really good. Very timely and kind of poignant. And you said, let's do it. So you learned the song in about, 10 minutes of listening to it and practicing and figuring it out. And we recorded it, and here it is.
And it's beautiful. And what does the song mean to you?
Well, to me, it's about a lot of misgivings about the way our country is going and what's happening in this country, and that's what I heard in Paul Simon's lyrics. Sounded like he was thinking the same thing.
Okay. Brian wanted me to ask you a couple questions. What's the best thing about being a switcher?
The best thing about switching for these concerts is getting to be a part of the project, these incredible, stellar musicians, yourself absolutely included, your arrangements, the music. I get to hear all this incredible music for free many times.
And what's the worst thing about being a switcher?
The pressure. Try not to make any mistakes. I always make mistakes. I mean, in 22 episodes, I have never not made several mistakes. But hopefully, if I'm doing my job well, nobody notices.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Don't know a soul who's not been battered. I don't have a friend who feels at ease. I don't know a dream that's not been shattered and driven to its knees. Oh, but it's all right. It's all right. We have lived so well, so long. Still, when I think of the road we're traveling on, I wonder what's gone wrong. I wonder what's gone wrong. And I dreamed I was dying. I dreamed that my soul rose unexpectedly, and gazing back down at me, smiled reassuringly. And I dreamed I was flying, and high up above my eyes could clearly see the Statue of Liberty sailing away to sea. And I dreamed I was flying.
We're back, and that's Steve Grant, everybody.
Yay!
Yes.
Nice, Steve.
Super talented human being, great vibe. Hey, let's play a couple more songs for you. Next one's called Still Crazy After All These Years. And Allison, this version is going to be on her new record, and it's already recorded. Tell us about what's going on with that, Al.
This is one of the 6 songs in the 1970s part of my trilogy. The next album is called Retro Trilogy, and it's 6 songs from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and I recorded it in New York before the pandemic and getting ready to release it soon.
Beautiful.
And we just did this as a nice little ballad like Paul did.
Yeah, great arrangement. What was his name again?
Kevin Hayes.
Kevin Hayes, the pianist from New York City. And when that album comes, we got to let everybody know, Allison, because it's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Like we got to hear the demo, not the demo, but the version we're doing is that version, and it's just gorgeous.
Thank you.
Great tune, Still Crazy After All These Years. Tripper on the piano, take it away, Trip.
I met my old lover on the street last night. He seemed so glad to see me, I just smiled. And we talked about some old times, and we drank ourselves some beers. Still crazy after all these years. Oh, still crazy after all these years. I'm not the kind of woman who tends to socialize. I seem to lean on old familiar ways, and I ain't no fool for love songs that whisper in my ear. Still crazy after all these years. Oh, still crazy after all these years. 4 in the morning, crabbed out and yawning, longing my life away. I'll never worry, why should I? If it's all gonna fade. Now I sit by my window and I watch the cars. I fear I'll do some damage one fine day, but I would not be convicted by a jury of my peers. Still crazy after all these years. Oh, still crazy, still crazy. Yeah, still crazy after all these
Yeah.
Nice piano. Trip.
Yes, Tripper, good work.
You gave me a solo.
You got a solo. I forgot about that. Wasn't supposed to do that.
I was digging that bluesy vibe going on, Peter.
Oh yeah, I know the blues scale. I learned that before I learned Joe's dominant seventh up a half step minor is a major seven. Before I learned that, I learned the blues scale. All right, hey, couple more things. CD giveaway. The winner of this CD giveaway is going to get the album that I did years ago called Soliloquy. The first song on it is called Simon, and I wrote it for, well, I basically ripped off Paul Simon. I think I did it in A though, but I made this whole tune that you're the only one that knows that I use the same bass line. But that's what you're going to get if you get this question right. We're turning it over to Brian. He's got the question and a little picture.
Okay, question of the week. It's that time again, people. It's quiz time. Okay, so the question this week is, Paul Simon wrote a song whose lyric referenced this imagery. What's the name of the song?
Okay, so we're going to play a song. We're going to play it, and the first person to get it right, and Brian will keep track, we'll send you a CD. So this last song...
Wait a minute.
Yep.
Brian, I think you should be the new Jeopardy host.
Yeah, they've been looking for a new one. Yeah. Good, Stephanie.
Maybe I'm a candidate. Thanks.
This one, Paul Simon wrote for our vocalist, Allison.
Just for me. He knew me in high school.
Yeah, and if you look closely, Allison is wearing her, well, her nickname is Al, and what do you have? You have a badge on. What's that about?
My very first job when I was 15 and a half was at Burger King. I was the window order taker, and everyone called me Al at that time, and even like my student body government slogan was Al your pal. So everyone called me Al your pal and my pal Al. So I put it on my Burger King nameplate. So I found that. This thing is ancient.
Wow.
So I'm wearing that because he wrote this song about me.
Yeah, that's right. This is called You Can Call Me Al. It's brilliant. It starts off with Tripper. Tripper's got some cool stuff. Everyone good?
Yes.
Yep. Here it comes. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Walks down the street, he says, why am I soft in the middle now? Why am I soft in the middle? The rest of my life is so hard. I need a photo opportunity. I want a shot of redemption. Don't want to end up in a cartoon graveyard. Bone digger, dogs in the moonlight. Far away with my well-lit door. Mr. Beer Belly, get these mutts away from me. You know, I don't find this stuff amusing anymore. If you be my bodyguard, I can be a long-lost pal. I can call you Betty, when you call me, you can call me out. A man walks down the street, he says, why am I short of attention? Got a short little span of attention, and whoa, my nights are so long. Where's my wife and family? What if I die here? Who'll be my role model now that my role model is gone? He ducked back down the alley with some roly-poly little bat-faced girl. All along, there were incidents and accidents. There were hints and allegations. If you be my bodyguard, I can be your long-lost pal. I can call you Betty, when you call me, you can call me out. down the street. It's a street in a strange world. Maybe it's a third world. Maybe it's his first time around. Doesn't speak the language. He holds no currency. He's a foreign man, and he is surrounded by the sound. The sound. Cattle in the marketplace. Scatterings in orphanages. He looks around. He sees angels in the architecture, spinning in infinity, says amen and hallelujah. If you see my bodyguard, it can be my long lost pal. I can call you Betty, Betty, when you call me, you can call me out. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Whoa, 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 if you be my bodyguard, ooh, I can call you Betty. If you be my bodyguard, ooh, I can call you Betty.
That team. That is such a fun tune. Just love that. Hey, Brian, who figured it out?
Okay, so everybody, you got a good
Well,
look
what's
at this
the
picture.
answer first?
Go ahead and bring the slide back over again, Steve. Hold on one second. Yeah, so again, here's the image that we have, and so what I had to do, this is a little bit controversial again, Peter.
Of
There's never a clear-cut winner.
You're so hardcore. You're a computer guy.
It's all about being exact. So, okay, so the first person came in, Elizabeth Chopp, C-H-O-P-P. And so what I'm thinking is we like gave the answer, right? We asked this question. We start playing the song that has the answer in. So I'm determining who answers this before we get to the line that tells them the answer, right? So it could be a little bit competitive between Elizabeth Chopp and Deirdre Moore because they were answered a little. Deirdre is a little bit behind, and I'm not quite exact if it came in, but right in between after the actual line was dropped already in the audio.
You're thinking
too
hard.
You're thinking too hard.
So yeah, but okay.
Hey,
so I think
I was going to say, Brian, what are you talking about?
yeah, okay.
Talk
so
a little quieter, please.
So I'm thinking, okay,
You're
all
killing me.
right. So Elizabeth, I think we're going to have to give it to you. Because
Yeah.
it's only right, you know. But yeah, so I think a number of, Peter, the other thing about the actual song, You Can Call Me Al, people that subscribe to the newsletter that I kind of put out kind of already understand what the story is about that. But at one point in time, Paul was married to Peggy Harper, and they had a party on 94th Street in the 70s sometime.
Oh, I like this.
And they invited Stanley Silverman, who was a composer and conductor of his own right, and he brought along Pierre Boulez, who at the time was the director of the New York Philharmonic. And so as they got there at Simon's place, Silverman introduced Paul and Peggy to Boulez, because this is a new face for them. So later when they were leaving, Paul said goodbye to Boulez, but being name challenged, Boulez responded. He says, "Well, thank you, Al, and please give my best to Betty." And so that was how the song came into being. Yeah. All right.
Okay, so again, who won the
Elizabeth Chop.
or Chope?
Chope?
CHOP.
Okay.
CHOPE.
Well, I almost chopped her out as being the winner, so I thought it would be Chop, but okay, it might be Chope.
No, okay. Elizabeth, congratulations.
Congrats, Elizabeth.
You've won the CD,
right.
and then what you need to do is go to my website. You can send me an email through my email address that's listed there, and please give us your address, and we'll put a new CD in the mail to you. Thanks for doing that. That is it for tonight. That's the show. Again, on the drums, in the room that's right over there, that's Duncan Moore playing the drums. Singing with us, for us, it's Allison Adams Tucker. You can call her Al.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Really great.
Really good.
Upstairs in the bass room, that's Justin Grinnell playing the bass. Brother Tripp playing everything in that room that's all red. Tripp on saxophone. We've got Brian, Digital Brian, Stephanie Flory, Sprague, and Steve Grant in the house helping.
Yay,
My name is
team.
Peter Sprague.
Peter.
Yeah. And okay, tip jar.
A few more comments from the Chatmeister.
Okay.
First, yes. So Charlene was dancing, and I was too. I wonder if anyone else was. That was just so
I was
great.
dancing too.
And then Kylie and Jeremy friends are listening in Puerto Vallarta.
Oh,
so hi to
fantastic.
everybody. Yeah, fun.
Nice.
And then Lars Hoff tuning in from Brazil, which is cool.
Lars was on our last show. Great
Yeah.
cellist. And what time must it be there? I mean, crazy. Well, great to have the folks. Is that it, Steph?
That's it.
Thanks for reminding me. Yeah. We play for tips. There's a tip jar that's going to be showing up right now. Yes. And it'll be, the information will be up afterwards. Please be generous if you can. We spent a lot of time and enjoyed it. And we would do it no matter what, anytime, anyway. Yeah. And thank you. Yeah. And the next live stream is going to be on September 19th. We're doing the music of Chick Corea. We're calling it My Spanish Heart. Chick Corea, one of my biggest influences. We have Danny Green's going to play piano, Tripp's going to play sax, Mac Layton's on bass, Duncan Moore on drums, me, and we're going to have a special guest too that'll be announced. And are you showing? He's showing the slide. Excellent. So look out for that. Please join my email list if you're not already on it. And it was fun night. We loved having you with us. Thanks for the band and everybody. Keep the sky in your head. You can call me Peter. Bye-bye.